Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to today's edition of the Gripe Session podcast. And today, I got a feeling it's time to go back to the old way. Catch this.
It's Gripe Session time with your host, George Wanaka.
It's about nothing.
Discussing everything from real estate, current events, a little bit of everything, and the annoying little things that just tick you off.
You can't handle the truth.
What? You didn't know?
Here's your host, George Wanaka.
Your ass better call somebody.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to today's edition of the Gripe Session podcast. And yes, I am back. It's been a little bit while since we have done a podcast. Been very, very busy. Market has been buzzing. Had a lot of stuff going on with the kids and who's running here and who's running there. But that being said, we are back today and we're back. But I tried to have to not do this. I really did. I've been trying to be more positive. I've been trying to politely point out the silly things that go on in my industry with colleagues and things of that nature. But unfortunately, some of y'all are pulling the old George back. Now, some of you that have listened to this podcast and watched George's Gripes a while back, we're going back a while now, and you know we would do Wednesdays with Wanaka, and that would be me live on Facebook and just ripping everybody to shreds. And I started wanting to get away from that. I really, really did, because the more that I saw it, I'm like, that's not helping people, right? It's not helping agents. It's not changing the narrative because, quite frankly, let's be honest. Unfortunately, agents are going to do stupid stuff. It's just what people do. Hell, I do stupid stuff on occasion. But with that being said, I just recently had two things that got brought to my attention that made me have to come on here and go, some of y'all got to stop the bullshit. Let's be real. Some of you are getting on these platforms that you see right now, and you're just straight out lying. Just lying, right? Let me tell you what I'm first talking about. Let's talk about video number one. So, video number one was sent to me by someone who actually pays attention to my podcast and me on social media and loves it, and we appreciate the support. And they sent me this video of some colleagues that were doing a podcast or a video, or I don't remember what it was, but they sent it to me. Then I watched it, and I kind of got my own little chuckle. Now, let me explain to you what was in this video. Well, we're going to get right back to the Gripe Session podcast, but before we do, we got to have a word from our sponsors over here at bestguyever.com. Make sure you never forget an important date ever again. Never forget any important dates with your wife, your daughter, your sister, your mother, or your mother-in-law for that matter. We want you here to be the bestguyever.com. And by the way, bestguyever.com helps your local small businesses. So it is a win-win for you. Not only can you be the bestguyever.com for those people that love you, but you can also support your local small businesses because bestguyever.com only deals with local small businesses. That's right. So make sure you get to www.bestguyever.com and subscribe. And by the way, let them know that you found out from us from the Gripe Session podcast. And because you're coming from the Gripe Session, we were able to get you a little bit of a deal for them as well. What's that deal, you say? Well, once you register, put in Gripe Session in the promo code. That's Gripe Session. And you're going to get 1 year free subscription to be the best guy ever. That's right, one free subscription by putting in Gripe Session in your promo code, and you're going to get a year for free. You can't have it any better than that. So make sure you go check out bestguyever.com and let them know the Gripe Session pulled you in. And now, back to our local program. What was in this video were two of my colleagues talking about old realtors that have been in the business 13 plus years, 15 years. I don't remember the time, the place, the 30 years, whatever it happens to be. And for lack of a better term, making fun of people that have been in this business for an extended period of time, which I don't get because they've been here and you haven't. Let me give you another piece of advice. It's probably not a good idea to go bashing agents with experience that you could learn from and that have more listings than you actually do, because this thing, it's called like MLS, and you can go on there and see actually how many listings you really have. So my recommendation, well, they don't have to take it, or these individuals don't have to take it, is be careful, because everything new is not everything good, right? The proof is always in the pudding. What have you done? Show me. I like to tell people I'm from the show me state, even though I'm in New York. You got to show me what you do. You got to show me what you've done before you're going to come and dictate to anybody that your way is better than mine. Because listen, if your way is better than mine, I'm open, ladies and gentlemen. I will sit there and listen to you. I will have the conversation with you. We may agree to disagree, and that's fine. But listen, do I make fun of people? Hell yeah. Not even bashful about it. You're damn right I do, because some of the stuff that people do is just plain stupid. But that goes because they're people not being trained properly, and it goes people are just lazy. That's a combination situation there. So that's the best that I could say. Stop knocking people with experience, especially people that you can potentially learn from. And let's get to the second one today. Now, the second video was one that I saw, and it was actually, in its totality, not a bad video. But hypocritical stuff is hypocritical stuff, right? So this individual was on video on one of the social media platforms, and again, I don't remember because I watch them all. They were on the social media platform and talking about how agents are not properly compensating selling agents or buyer's agents, which I agree with the premise. Agents work on commissions, not getting a decent enough split. And I believe the response was agents are being paid less than minimum wage, something along those lines. Valid. Completely valid. But when you live in a glass house, don't throw the stone. Because, again, we talked a little bit earlier on this podcast edition that MLS is a beautiful thing. We can all go on MLS and see what people pay out. So don't claim to be the moral majority of your issue here, which I agree with. I will say that I agree with. But then if I go look, you got the same thing going on here. And not with everyone, but you got the same thing going on. So, as the expression goes, you don't want to talk out of both sides of your mouth, especially to somebody who can call it out. Those are a couple of things that just recently started coming out again. I love it. I mean, it's great. It opens up the dialogues for conversation, to be frank. One of the things that I like to do is hear from what you have to say. So do me a favor, when you have an opportunity, reach out to me on any of the social medias where you can find me. On YouTube, comment in this video when you see it, and I would definitely appreciate to hear what you actually have to say about some of these issues, because they're not going away, unfortunately. Hey, we're just going to take a real quick break from the gripe session. We're going to get right back to it, but we want to bring you another word from one of our sponsors here, which is searchstatenisland.com. Yes, one of the things that I do every single day is I'm a real estate practitioner. I am a licensed realtor. I am a appraiser. I'm also a mortgage broker. So why do you ask any of those questions? Well, quite frankly, because if you have any questions on real estate in any part of the country, all you have to do is reach out to me. Go to www.searchstatenisland.com or find me on the social media platforms. And there's a very good opportunity that I'll be able to help you regardless of whether or not if you're in New York where I'm home based, or if you're someplace out in, whether it be Utah or Texas or somebody out there, there's a very good chance that I will be able to help you regardless, because I have contacts throughout the country and I would be able to make sure my clients are always taken care of. So make sure you check out www.searchstatenisland.com. And now back to our program. So we all need to be able to work together. We all want to make the most amount of money. 100%. We get that. Agents deserve to be compensated fairly, right? They need to be compensated fairly, as long as they're also doing the amount of work. Nobody wants to have that conversation either. Everybody wants to be paid, but some people do actually work harder than other people do. As a better example, I just had a transaction not too long ago. It's actually a few months ago that it closed. And this agent, I heard when I got the binder, and I did not hear again until literally there was a closing date set. Didn't advise me as to the home inspection. Didn't advise me as to when the buyer signed contracts. Didn't keep me up to date on what was going on with the mortgage. Called me the day before to schedule the final walkthrough. That's not doing the job, ladies and gentlemen, but you can't wonder why people are paying people to do that, because then it goes back to who? Doesn't go to the agent, ladies and gentlemen. Does it? It goes back to the training they're getting at their shop, at their company. So for as much as people want to be on the agent side, and trust me, I do, if you're not working your agents through the thing, you potentially, as a broker, ain't doing your job. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to definitely thank you again for listening and watching the podcast, depending on what media you're watching. If you're listening to it on your podcast app, I definitely appreciate that. Do me a favor, if you are doing that, make sure you leave us a rate and review on Apple Podcasts. We definitely appreciate that. If you're watching this on YouTube, do me a favor, make sure you subscribe to my channel. And also, if you're seeing me on the social medias, do me a favor, find me, reach out to me. I'm on Instagram. I am on TikTok, I am on Twitter, I'm on Facebook. Quite frankly, if you can't find me, you're really not trying hard enough. So with that being said, we'll catch you on the next edition of the Gripe Session. And remember, as always, do something nice for somebody you wouldn't normally do. And we'll catch you on the next edition of the Gripe Session. Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Gripe Session. Please follow us on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram.